Myles, coming into training camp, what are your goals for this season?
Get better, grow as a person, grow as an individual, grow as a teammate, grow as a leader, and help these guys to come along with me. And I know that there's always more in the tank for myself, but also for them. And I feel like we have a long way to go, but it's the start of the process today, and all throughout this preseason, this training camp, and I believe we have a lot of potential that we can help mold and create something very big here.
You say you have more in the tank. What are some specific areas you want to get better, do better this season?
I mean, speaking for my position up front, I know we lost some inside guys, and got a lot of young guys that we have to work with, and some newer guys who haven't been on this team before. So just trying to pull them along, make sure that they know the playbook, know what they're doing, know their assignments, alignments, and make sure that they're coming off the ball and not thinking. They're just doing, they're just executing.
Myles, are your expectations for the season the same regardless of how long Deshaun plays, how long he doesn't play, and that whole situation?
Yeah, it doesn't change regardless of how that situation works itself out, and we're gonna hold ourselves to high standard, no matter what happens. Defense is gonna do what they do, and last time I heard, they can't win if they don't score points.
Do you
Is that
feel
your
more will
message?
be?
Sorry, Scott, go ahead.
Do you feel more will be needed from the defense depending on how much time Deshaun could miss?
No. I mean, the offense always needs our best, and so it's not going to change when he's not on the field or he is on the field. We're always going to do our very best job that we can, and execute how we know we should.
As a leader, is that the message you're amplifying to your guys, that whether Deshaun's out there or not, we just got to be us?
Yeah, I mean, just be yourself. Play the game. You don't play the level of your opponent or to the level of the offense or special teams. We play up to our standard and what we look forward to doing throughout this whole season, not just however many games he's out or he's in.
Myles, last year team chemistry was a big talking point as far as this team and what happened. With your QB, with his uncertainty, how do you maintain that team chemistry? How do you build it when there's a chance Deshaun might not be on the field to start the season?
I mean, you move as if he will be or won't be. You don't really keep it in your mind like that. I mean, he's on the field with us right now. He will be on the field with us throughout preseason, training and working out. He's going to be in the weight room. He's going to be interacting with us. He's going to be with us for all intents and purposes. Just keep on moving how they have been, especially the young guys who came here a little bit earlier. Just keep on working out, keep on doing their best. And I feel like once we get to the season, it'll all work itself out.
Myles, how difficult is it to kind of start this season with a new slate after everything that played out last season, everything that's played out this offseason, and now the thing that kind of looms outside the building?
Well, I stay inside the building, and then when I'm outside the building, I stay in my house. I don't really see too much news, but I know these guys try to keep their head down and just stay in the work and the grind, and that's what training camp is. You don't have time to be looking out elsewhere for what's happening and what's going on with the team or other teams going around. So just look forward to enjoying this training camp, making the most of it, and appreciating the process.
Myles, what's your impression then of Jacoby Brissett?
I think he's very quality quarterback. I think he's a solid player. I think he'll come in and be a good leader for us, even when he's not on the field. And when he's on the field, I think he's talented enough to win games by himself. So I'm looking forward to see what he can do.
You said you want to keep the same standard regardless of what happens. Is part of that due to what you've seen from Brissett so far, what he can give you a quarterback?
Part of that is to do with what I expect out of myself and our group as a defense. So it has nothing to do with Jacoby. I believe in his ability, but I'm putting the pressure on us because I know what we have in store.
I know it's a little far off, but have you given any thoughts on maybe having a sack Baker week one?
Not really. I know some of my friends were, but I keep it to them. They can make their jokes. They have fun with it. But I have a lot of time with Jacoby and all these other quarterbacks that I've seen before, Dobbs. So just being able to work against them, working against Jed, and just trying to improve on my technique and my fundamentals, and drive those points home with some of the younger guys. That's how I'm really focused about. Week one and all that. That's yet to come. We still got preseason games and other things we got to worry about.
Myles, you alluded to some of the youth and inexperience on the interior of the defensive line. What do you know about some of those guys, and how do you maybe help bring them along to, he is impactful or play at the level that you're going to need him?
I mean, for what I've seen, they have a very high attention to detail, in the classroom. But when the bullets start flying, you got to see, how attentive they really are. When you're tired and things are moving fast, got to see if you can still stay in the moment, keep it grounded, get rid of the last play, and still execute. And I believe the guys can, but we got to make sure that we see it and we keep on repping it.
How much is it?
Knowing how high your expectations are for your defense this season, can you put into words just how good, how dominant you think this group can be this year?
As dominant as we want to be. I feel like that last year, and I feel like this year. We have a lot of talented guys all across the board, and I feel like this is probably the most well-rounded we've been since I've been here. So just try to make the most of it and make plays all up and down the field and take the ball away.
The defense seemed to get stronger and play better as the year went on last year. Can you carry that forward, or do you come in with the mindset the whiteboard is, the slate's been wiped clean, you guys are kind of resetting and starting over?
I mean, you take a little bit from last year, of course. You can't just wipe it completely clean. You have to play off of the good and wash away the bad. But I think the main thing last year is that we had to work on our consistency, and that's what we saw really down the stretch. We were very consistent in our approaches, and from drive to drive, we weren't having all these ups and downs. We were staying pretty consistent.
Myles, you mentioned the pressure on yourselves for the Madden situation. Do you enjoy that pressure? That's going to be on your name.
Yeah, I mean it's all going to be put on us. So go out there and make the most of it. Either crush it or mix diamonds.
You talked about the interior guys. Is it difficult for you having those two guys change out from last year to this year? And the year before to last year?
I was about to say, it's pretty sure that happened the year before too. So I should be used to it. But you get attached to some of the guys that you had before. Good guys, friendly faces. You build chemistry, and then you just kind of have to, like you said, wipe the slate clean and keep it moving. But these guys are, fortunately enough for me, they've always been, quality people, easy to work with, easy to be able to sit down and, go through and polish out some of the things you want to do, because it's not the same from team to team, and especially from the transition from college to NFL. So being able to get that time with those guys, get those extra reps and extra mental reps, that's priceless.
Myles, off that, how important, offensive line we know is important with guard and tackle, right? How important is it for you to have that chemistry with your D tackle?
I mean, it's necessary. When you see some of the best, DEs or outside linebackers, is because their inside is getting a lot of pressure. Their inside linemen are causing the quarterback to either step back or not be able to step up, and that's when you see a lot of guys either beating the guy inside and like walking right into him, or bending the edge at 5-6 yards, and the quarterback's still standing right there. So knowing what he's going to do, where he's going to be at, he's applying constant pressure, or knowing that they can't run the ball at the middle because those two are holding it down, it's a weight off my shoulders.
Myles, at your youth camp, you mentioned that you were going to do some things in the offseason to take your game to the next level. You wanted to keep it secret at that time. If you could share some of that now, that would be great. And what do you expect from yourself this year?
Off-season so long ago, I can't remember. I don't know what I did.
Myles, what did you, I don't know if you were asked this, what did you think of your Madden rating?
I mean, it's nice. And I love being 99. That's as good as it gets for now, but I think there's a step further if I can take it there.
Why do you think you were rated ahead of T.J. Watt, yet he keeps getting Defensive Player of the Year votes?
I'm not sure. I mean, you take that up with the Madden voters or Madden skill raters, but as far as me and T.J. Watt, I think he's a great player, and I love his game, and appreciate getting to play against talent like that every other home and away or season.
What did you think of the video of Chubb squatting 600 plus?
I wish I had knees like that.
Myles, we love preseason predictions. I'm curious how many times you think you'll get drug tested this season?
Well, if I continue my plan to not wear sleeves, it'll probably be every other Tuesday.
Last couple.
What's your personal best squat? You know?
I think 650 early in the off season. So I was a 2 or 3 reps, but I stay away from that. He did it twice in off season. I did it once, and I regret it.
Hey,
How
Myles,
was that summer league experience with the Cavs? Are you ready to jump ship?
Not quite yet. Once, if we win a chip, then I might actually consider it.
anything else? Hey, back to Deshaun for 1 second. Has this whole situation, has it been a distraction for you guys?
No. I mean, when I was working on the off season, I hardly paid any attention to it. So unless someone brought it to me and asked me a question, I had no knowledge of it, and I try to keep myself completely out of the situation because I'm not in it. It doesn't pertain to me, and I try to stay in my work.
Do most of the guys feel the same way?
Yeah, I mean, from who I've talked to, and it's a lot of defense. They're just trying to stay in the game and their side of the ball.
Myles, what are your expectations for yourself this season after setting the sack record last year, and what do you expect?
Get some more DPOY votes.